You're in the mountains with Makwa, and I'm standing at the top of the Swede Mountain fire tower, looking out at a beautiful panorama around Brant Lake and Lake George. Stay tuned and see how I got here. Greetings, fellow hikers and outdoor adventurers. I am Makwa, which is the trail name I use when I go hiking. Right now I am standing in the town of Hague at a little pull-off on Route 8, just a few miles from Swede Mountain, where I'm about to go climb the fire tower. After I'm done with Swede, I'm going to head back into Brant Lake, where I'm going to climb Bartonville Mountain. Just a couple of very short hikes here today. Swede is about a mile in each direction with only 250 feet of elevation gain. Bartonville, only about 3/4 of a mile in each direction with about 550 feet of elevation gain. Chose two small hikes today because tomorrow morning I'm heading up to Keene Valley where I'm going to go climb Mount Haystack, which is going to be a big day with well over 4,000 feet of elevation gain. So I don't want to get too tired today, but I want to go tick a couple of peaks off some lists that I'm working. Swede Mountain is on the Fire Tower Challenge. Now, I finished the Fire Tower Challenge back in 2016 when there were only 29 peaks on the list. Since then, Stillwater and Swede have been added to the list. So there's now 31. So like I said, I finished the Fire Tower Challenge back several years ago, but I need Swede, actually in all 4 seasons. This will just be the first one in the summer, as I'm working on an Adirondack seasonal fire tower grid. 26 fire towers in the Adirondacks, 104 total peaks. Today will be number 70 out of the 104. And then once we go back into Bartonville, Bartonville is on the list for the Adirondack 9 Challenge. I've climbed all of the peaks for the Adirondack 9 in the past, but you have to tag them all after July 4th, 2020. So I have to repeat all of those peaks. So we're heading into Bartonville, knock that out, and then head up to Keene Valley and get some rest for a big day tomorrow. All right, let's head up the road to Swede and get moving. Okay, here we are at Swede Mountain, heading up to the fire tower. So let's get started. First steps. Interesting little staircase here to start the hike. Across the outlet to this pond. And then up this stone staircase to get to the trail. Forgot to mention in my introductions, stick around until the end of the video and we'll have a beer to celebrate these 2 short hikes and then go grab some dinner someplace on the way up to Keene Valley. Just one question. Where do I go to the bathroom? Swede Mountain Fire Tower. Two great fires in 1903 and 1908 charred almost 1 million acres of Adirondack forest. These fires prompted New York State to respond with better fire prevention and containment procedures. Along with education on fire prevention, 57 towers were built on top of strategic mountains, which allowed trained observers to alert personnel on the ground of fire locations deep within forested areas, which aided the distribution of men and materials to control the fire before increasing beyond manageable size and reaching local communities. Steel towers replaced the original log structures. By 1916, more than 120 steel structures were built throughout New York State. These structures measured between 40 to 70 feet tall. Staffing of the towers gradually decreased, and by 1990 there were no towers in the Adirondacks in active use. Swede Mountain Fire Tower, an air motor LS-40, was erected in 1918 and closed in 1968. The refurbished fire tower is one of several in the Adirondacks being revived by communities. Swede Mountain Fire Tower was refurbished by Warren County Parks and Recreation staff in 2021. Well, I would love to go explore inside the observer's cabin, but this looks fairly dangerous. Got to collapse the roof. Really no way in. Probably nothing to see inside. We can take a peek through the window somehow. Alright, we are almost back to the parking area at Swede. Incredible views from the fire tower. Great cheap view. Cheap view meaning not a lot of miles and not a lot of elevation gain to get there. So if you want a good cheap view, come check out Swede. It's a quick up and down. It's worth your time. Okay, that does it for Swede. We're back at the parking area. We're going to head 11 miles back into Brant Lake and go tackle Bartonville. Stay tuned. Yeah, it looks like we are at the start of the trail for Bartonville. Yeah, here we go. We are off and moving at Bartonville. This is going to be a quick one. Only 3/4 of a mile to the top. 550 feet of elevation gain. Not a lot to see along the way. There's one viewpoint looking at Brant Lake. That's about it. Treed in summit. So we'll be up and down fast. Now hopefully you can read that. That says WPM Inc., which is Wilderness Property Management Incorporated, founded by a former DEC forest ranger. Guy worked as a forest ranger for about 25 years up until 2011, 2012. Then he founded this company and they designed this trail. Well, we're about 200 yards, I would guess, from the overlook, which will give us that view of Brant Lake. And we're trying to move pretty fast here because it's starting to get a little gloomy and dark in the forest here. It's only about 6:15. I think sunset's 8 o'clock, but it's starting to get low light as the sun gets lower in the sky. So I'm going to try and get to the top as fast as possible and get down the mountain back to the car. Well, that's the view we've been waiting for on Bartonville. We're looking sort of northeast up Brant Lake. Gorgeous view of the lake and the mountains in the background. And then we're going to head up the mountain here, I don't know, another 100 vertical feet or so, and we're at the summit. That'll be it. Here's a little useless cairn field here, right at the junction where the overlook is and then the trail up to the summit. Always fun to run across, even though they really are of little value for navigation. Well, I've reached the summit of Bartonville, and this is what I found. Borders creepy as can be. Not quite sure what this used to be. It says a VHF TV translator from Television Technology Corporation, Arvada, California. Well, must have been something at one point. I'm not exactly sure which one is the exact summit. There's a cairn here. There's one another about 50 feet away on two areas that appear to be about the same height. So I would guess we are at the summit. At least that's what my GPS is telling me. And what my eyes are telling me as well. So here we are. There's also an area over here that may or may not be the summit officially. It's about the same height as the other spots. Maybe a few inches higher or lower, hard to tell. But we've hit the three little tiny high points at the summit area, and that's going to have to be good enough. We're going to head back down. That's it for Bartonville. We hit what appeared to be the three little high points on the summit. Not sure which one is the actual summit, but that's going to have to do. Some mountain biking trails up here. There's that nice view that we just stopped at of Brant Lake. And that's it. That's the whole attraction. So we've ticked this one off the Adirondack 9 list. We're going to head back down, get to the car. That's it from Sweden Bartonville for today. Thank you for watching the video. But we do have one final thing left to do. At the beginning of the video, you saw me take my first step. Now you're going to see me take my last step. And the last step of any good hike is to have a beer. Today I've got a Heineken. Why a Heineken? Couldn't I have been more creative? Well, I got a single from Walmart, so you got a choice between Heineken and, you know, like White Claw or a Colt 45. So I chose the Heineken. I already cracked it. I was so thirsty when I got back to the car. So I'm going to polish this beer off, get changed, go grab some dinner, and then we're going to tie this thing up. Thanks for watching. As always, that's fantastic at the end of a long day of hiking. You've heard of the 10 essentials of hiking. This I consider to be the 11th. Stay tuned. Well, the view says it all. This is my dinner. I'm at the Pottersville Mini Mart off exit 26. Getting a couple slices of pizza. Best pizza around. You can't beat it. And I'm going to wolf these down and then try and go get some sleep because I got to get up at like 4 a.m. to go hike Haystack in the morning. Those slices didn't stand a chance. I knocked them down in about 45 seconds. That's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like what you saw, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any other videos that are posted on the channel. I hope to see you out on the trails. Get out there, hike, make your own adventure, hike your own hike, and of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt.